Good morning, Senator Marshall.
Good morning. Quite a mail drop last night, huh?
Yeah, over the past 24 hours or so, we got word that 3,200 pages worth of Dr. Fauci's emails from January to June of 2020, I believe was the range, have been released regarding his conversations over the pandemic. I know you guys have been certainly interested to hear all of the conversations that were happening. What did your office find out, Dr. Marshall?
Well, these emails are pretty damning. If there's a smoking gun out there, I think that these emails really point to the credibility of Dr. Fauci. I think what these emails show is that he was not being honest, totally honest with the president or the American public, that he wasn't being forthright, that there wasn't the transparency we were hoping for. Really, a lot of his emails would suggest that he really thought that this could have been leaked from the Wuhan lab, and the virus could have originated there. And indeed, some of this gain of function studies could have been funded by the NIH. So again, it's just really pretty damning information coming out here.
Dr. Fauci was on CNN, I believe it was this morning, defending himself, saying a lot of the emails were before the pandemic even started, before they had information, and that he commented a lot about the information that they knew at the time. What do you say to his response? I know he's been certainly trying to defend his actions.
Well, I think the American public should read the emails them say. And the one that I'm focused on right now is the end of January, the 1st of February of 2020. I really think he had information, and those emails would absolutely suggest that he was concerned that this virus could have originated in the lab, that it could have been manufactured in the lab using technology we taught Dr. Shi from the laboratories in the United States. So, there's only 2 laboratories in the entire country that do this type of research, and they were interacting with Dr. Shi. So I think the emails are clearly dated 2020, that maybe he was underestimating the size of this pandemic was going to be, but he had some really strong information and he should have been warning President Trump about. So he can't walk this back based upon dates preceding this. No, that's not correct.
But do you think it is fair to really hold his feet to the fire based on information in January and February, when really there was so little that we knew about what actually was happening and what all was to come? Do you think that's fair?
Absolutely, I think it's fair. I think it's fair because he was not being transparent, that he was hiding information from the President of the United States, that he was so worried about his reputation, that he was so worried that he was going to be linked to research that he funded, that he approved. He was a big supporter of viral gain of function. There's lots of information out there to say he was a big supporter of this, and that if this investigation takes us to that particular rabbit hole and down it, he's going to go down with it as well. So he had a huge conflict of interest. He was covering this up from the beginning. He was giving the President of the United States misinformation that we could have been doing a much better job blocking people from China from coming here. I think it's horrible. I just got to tell you, it was horrible to cover this information up. It was horrible to hide this information from Americans. And it just kind of set up this whole this misinformation campaign. Wear masks, don't wear masks. Get 6 feet apart. None of this was driven by science. It was all driven by politics. So he set this ball in motion because he had a huge conflict of information and may indeed be partially culpable for what's happened out here.
So, Dr. Marshall, then what's next? Obviously, there's a lot to come, a lot of emails, 10,000 or so out there that people are still scouring over. What, in your opinion, what is next with Dr. Fauci, and the next step maybe the Biden administration needs to take with this?
Right. I was taught by a real good friend, an orthopedic surgeon, when I first started practicing medicine. He said, once you lose your reputation, you never get it back. As a doctor, that's something that we live by. You're only as good as your last surgery, the last baby I delivered. Dr. Fauci's lost his reputation. I don't think he's going to be an effective advisor to the president or to the American public anymore. I'm not ready to form a posse. But I really think the president has to consider, is Dr. Fauci a good mouthpiece, a good spokesman for us coming out of this virus and setting policy, right? So I think the White House needs to do some introspection, and just so proud of what we got accomplished on the Senate floor last week, a bipartisan unanimous decision to proceed, that the World Health Organization needs to do a thorough investigation and simultaneously the Senate needs to be doing an investigation as well. And I'm sure Senator Paul and I'll be leading that charge, trying to get some committee on the Senate to really do a deep dive on this.